Right now, some things are not going well in the UK. On one hand, there are protests by far-right groups somewhere or the other in the UK on a daily basis. And parallel to this, there are some places in the UK where something different is going on. You think the United Kingdom is free. You think British law rules every street, every home, every neighborhood. But what if I told you it doesn't? Hidden inside Britain are towns where another law is rising. Another order. Another power. A shadow system that critics say is quietly replacing UK law with Sharia influence. This is not fantasy. This is not conspiracy. It's happening in real places with real people right now, and the government refuses to admit it. So in today's video, we are going to show you 10 secret Sharia towns of the UK, towns that Britain must act on before it's too late. But before starting the video, I want to request you, we put our best efforts to create our every single video. So please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Let's start. Number 10, Redbridge, London. At number 10, we begin with Redbridge, a vibrant borough in East London that often escapes the spotlight. Yet it's undergoing a dramatic transformation that's sparking crucial conversations about community and unity. According to the 2021 census, more than 31% of Redbridge's population is Muslim, a notable jump from 23 decades ago, with wards like Clementswood exceeding 50%, where English street signs now share space with Arabic script. Behind closed doors, an estimated 30 to 85 Sharia councils operate across the UK, including in Redbridge, providing voluntary mediation for family matters like divorce and inheritance. A 2018 government review, however, raised concerns that some women face subtle pressures, receiving rulings with fewer safeguards than UK law offers. Tensions have spilled into public view, with recent protests over plans to expand the Ilford Islamic Cultural Centre drawing passionate crowds on both sides, while debates intensify around faith schools, where 40% of Muslim families in deprived areas like parts of Redbridge seek enrollment amid broader integration challenges. This has left neighborhoods feeling like parallel worlds, traditional British pub culture on one street, halal markets and evening loudspeakers calls on the next, prompting community leaders to call for more dialogue to bridge the gap. If proactive measures like enhanced integration programs aren't prioritized, experts warn Redbridge could become a flashpoint, highlighting the urgent need for balanced policies that celebrate diversity while fostering shared values for all. Number 9, Leicester. Leicester has long been hailed as a beacon of multiculturalism, yet beneath its vibrant mosaic lies a complex and challenging reality that's sparking urgent conversations about unity. The 2021 census reveals that over 23% of Leicester's population is Muslim, a rise from 19 decades earlier, with wards like Spinney Hills nearing 50%, where entire streets pulse with a single cultural heartbeat, prompting critics to label it self-segregation. In 2022, the city was rocked by riots between Hindu and Muslim groups, with over 200 arrests and 47 officers injured, exposing the fragility of Leicester's celebrated community harmony and leaving police grappling to manage religious leaders and youth gangs. Sharia arbitration panels, estimated at 30 to 85 across the UK, operate in Leicester, offering voluntary dispute resolution, but a 2018 government review warned that some rulings may sideline equal protections for women and children compared to British courts. This tension has created neighborhoods that feel like parallel worlds, vibrant Diwali celebrations on one side, bustling halal markets on the other, yet local voices, like a shopkeeper who told the BBC, "We live together but don't always talk," highlight the divide. Community leaders are now pushing for dialogue, with initiatives like Leicester's interfaith forums growing by 15% since 2022, aiming to bridge gaps through shared events and youth programs. What Leicester reveals is that even cities famed for diversity can become flashpoints, underscoring the need for bold policies to foster not just coexistence but genuine connection across cultures. Number 8, Manchester. Manchester, one of Britain's most iconic cities, is transforming at breakneck speed. Its vibrant diversity both a strength and a spark for urgent conversations about unity and shared identity. The 2021 census reveals over 22% of Manchester's population, 122,962 residents, is now Muslim, a sharp rise from 15% in 2011, with neighborhoods like Rusholme and Longsight where halal shops and community centers dominate, often outnumbering traditional British pubs and raising questions about cultural cohesion. Critics point to so-called no-go zones where non-Muslims report feeling uneasy, though officials refute this, while 2025 crime data shows hotspots like Beswick logging 125 offenses in a single month, including antisocial behavior tied to subtle cultural enforcement. The 2017 Manchester Arena accident, which claimed 22 lives and injured over 1,000, exposed how extremist ideologies can take root, with mosques like Didsbury later linked to preachers who supported radical groups, amplifying fears of fractured integration. Sharia councils, like the Manchester Sharia Council, offer voluntary mediation on family matters such as divorce, but a 2018 government review flagged concerns that some rulings may offer fewer protections for women compared to UK law, with 30 to 85 such bodies operating nationwide. Yet, hope shines through community efforts like interfaith forums, which have grown 20% since 2023, are fostering dialogue through youth programs and shared events, aiming to bridge divides in this dynamic city. Number 7. Birmingham. Britain's second-largest city, Birmingham, pulses with energy as a hub of innovation and culture. Yet it grapples with profound divisions that invite vital discussions on fostering true unity amid diversity. The 2021 census confirms nearly 30% of Birmingham's population is Muslim, the highest share among major UK cities, up from 21.8% in 2011, with wards like Sparkbrook exceeding 70% where mosques and halal eateries shape the daily rhythm. The Trojan horse scandal in 2014 rocked the nation, uncovering how a group of governors pushed conservative Islamic practices into 21 schools, including gender segregation and restrictions on music and art, clashing with British educational standards and prompting Ofsted downgrades for 5 academies. Birmingham hosts prominent Sharia councils, like the one at Birmingham Central Mosque, which handles hundreds of family cases annually, primarily divorces via tafriq, offering voluntary religious guidance, though a 2018 review noted risks of unequal outcomes for women in inheritance or custody compared to UK law. In areas like Ladywood and Alum Rock, crime rates soar to 150-plus incidents per 1,000 residents in 2025, far above the city average of 102, while unemployment lingers at 8 to 10%, twice the national rate, straining resources and heightening frictions with neighboring communities. These challenges have sparked community-led efforts, such as interfaith youth programs that have engaged over 5,000 participants since 2022, aiming to rebuild bridges through shared workshops and events that celebrate Birmingham's multicultural tapestry. If unaddressed, experts caution, Birmingham risks deepening divides, but with collaborative policies, it could model how diversity strengthens a city's soul rather than splintering it. Number 6. Bradford. Bradford has long been viewed as the epicenter of Britain's integration challenges, a city where rapid demographic shifts have tested the boundaries of community cohesion and sparked essential conversations about building bridges across divides. The 2021 census reveals over 30.5% of its population, around 166,846 residents, is Muslim, a notable increase from 24.7% in 2011, making it one of the UK's most ethnically diverse districts, yet one grappling with high segregation levels. Entire neighborhoods like Manningham and University Ward are predominantly Muslim, with over 70% of residents from Asian backgrounds, while areas such as Queensbury remain over 90% white, creating what critics describe as parallel communities rather than a true multicultural mosaic. Bradford has endured heartbreaking grooming scandals with gangs, predominantly of Pakistani heritage, convicted in high-profile cases. For instance, in 2019, 9 men were jailed for a total of over 132 years for abusing more than 50 girls between 2007 and 2012, though officials stress these acts don't reflect the wider community. While cultural silence and fears of racial tensions reportedly delayed action in the early 2000s, recent national inquiries, including the 2025 Casey audit, have highlighted systemic failures but also pushed for better data collection and victim support to prevent recurrence. Sharia councils, such as the long-standing Bradford Sharia Chambers established in 1985, handle hundreds of family cases yearly, offering voluntary mediation on issues like divorce, Yet women's groups like the Muslim Women's Council in Bradford have raised alarms over potential unequal treatment in rulings on inheritance and custody. Public trust in law enforcement remains strained, with surveys showing only 55% of Bradford residents confident in police effectiveness, below the national 65% average, exacerbated by years of perceived integration policy shortfalls, including underfunded English language programs and community cohesion initiatives. Yet, glimmers of progress emerge through local efforts like interfaith youth projects, which have engaged thousands since 2020, fostering dialogue and shared events to mend divides and restore a sense of collective identity. For many, Bradford serves as a poignant reminder of the risks when cultural integration falters, but also a call to action for inclusive policies that honor its rich diversity while nurturing unity for all. Number 5. Newham, London. Newham, another East London borough where Sharia influence runs deep, stands as a vibrant yet challenging mosaic of cultures, prompting ongoing dialogues about harmony and shared progress in one of the UK's most diverse communities. According to the 2021 census, nearly 35% of Newham's population is Muslim, up from 32% in 2011, making it the fourth largest Muslim community in England and Wales, with wards like East Ham South reaching over 50%. The borough is home to dozens of mosques, around 56 in total, including prominent ones like the East London Mosque, and numerous religious schools, where Islamic practices shape daily life in districts such as Green Street, blending calls to prayer with the hum of multicultural markets. Local Sharia councils, part of the estimated 30 to 85 operating nationwide, handle family disputes like divorces and inheritance through voluntary mediation, though women's groups highlight occasional pressures that may not fully align with UK legal protections for equality. Newham has also been plagued by gang violence, with 10,927 violence and offenses recorded in 2025 alone, a rate of 14 per 1,000 residents, alongside a housing crisis where over 7 repossessions per 1,000 households occurred in early 2025, exacerbating poverty that affects 42% of children in the borough. These issues create fertile ground for extremism concerns, yet community programs like the Mayor's Prevent initiatives have engaged thousands through interfaith workshops and digital safety training since 2023, boosting resilience against radical narratives. For outsiders, walking in Newham is not looks like British town. Number 4. Luton. Luton, a town steeped in infamy, stands as a stark example of division, where cultural divides fuel urgent calls for unity and understanding in a once tight-knit community. The 2021 census shows nearly 32% of Luton's population is Muslim, up from 24.6% in 2011, transforming the former car manufacturing hub into one of Britain's most ethnically diverse yet polarized towns. It was once a working-class heartland of Vauxhall's car plants, employing thousands in the 1960s, but today critics label it a breeding ground for extremism. Several convicted radicals, including the 2017 London Bridge accident Coram, but hailed from Luton, amplifying fears that radical ideologies have taken root amid strained community ties. Residents report informal Sharia enforcement, from modesty patrols in areas like Berry Park to subtle pressures against Western lifestyles, while Sharia councils, part of an estimated 30 to 85 nationwide, mediate family disputes, raising concerns about equitable outcomes for women. Luton has also been a flashpoint for protests, with extremist marches and far-right counter-demonstrations, such as the 2019 English Defence League rallies drawing over 1,000 participants, clashing in the town centre and fueling ongoing tensions. Despite challenges, community efforts like Luton's interfaith forums, which grew by 12% in engagement since 2022, are fostering dialogue through youth initiatives and cultural events to rebuild trust. For many, Luton feels like it's no longer the quintessential British town of its industrial past, but a complex crossroads, urging bold policies to weave its diverse threads into a shared future. Number 3. Blackburn with Darwin. Blackburn, a historic Lancashire town, stands as a striking case of cultural transformation, where deep divides spark vital conversations about forging unity in a rapidly changing community. The 2021 census reveals 35% of Blackburn's population, over 54,000 residents, is Muslim, one of the highest proportions in the UK, with wards like Sheer Brow exceeding 80% South Asian, showing little integration with other communities. Reports have exposed schools, such as Tawhidul Islam Girls High School, enforcing strict Islamic dress codes and segregating classes, while mosques like Masjid-e Sajidin wield influence in local politics, shaping council decisions on community projects. Sharia councils, part of an estimated 30 to 85 across the UK, quietly handle family law cases like divorce in Blackburn, with women's groups noting potential disparities in rulings compared to British legal standards. Critics argue Blackburn illustrates a British town increasingly dominated by one community, with 2025 data showing non-South Asian populations in wards like Bastwell dropping to under 15%, as others feel gradually displaced. Social mobility lags, with unemployment in Blackburn at 7.2% in 2025, above the national 4.1%, and child poverty affecting 38% of families in Muslim-majority areas, deepening cultural and economic divides. Yet, hope persists through initiatives like Blackburn's Interfaith Network, which has grown by 10% since 2023, engaging hundreds in youth workshops and cultural festivals to bridge gaps and foster shared identity. For many, Blackburn is a town where Sharia influence is no longer subtle. It's visible in bustling halal markets and mosque minarets, calling for bold policies to weave its rich diversity into a cohesive community. Number 2. Dewsbury. Dewsbury, a small West Yorkshire town, carries an outsized reputation, standing as a vivid example of cultural transformation that sparks critical discussions about unity and identity in modern Britain. The 2021 census shows nearly 48% of Dewsbury's population, around 31,000 residents, is Muslim, one of the highest rates in the UK, with Seville Town's white population now under 2%, a sharp drop from 20 decades ago. Critics describe Dewsbury, particularly Seville Town, as Britain's closest example of a Sharia enclave, where mosques like Markazi Masjid dominate and radical preachers, such as Muhammad Siddiq Khan, the 2005 London radical, once operated. Sharia schools, including the Institute of Islamic Education, openly teach conservative curricula, while community leaders enforce strict cultural norms, from dress codes to gender segregation, shaping daily life. Dewsbury's transformation is so stark that journalists visiting Seville Town, with its 60-plus halal businesses and few non-Muslim shops, describe it as a town within a town, British in name, but distinct in character. Yet, local efforts like the Dewsbury Together initiative, engaging over 1,200 residents in interfaith events since 2023, aim to bridge divides through shared festivals and youth programs. If Britain seeks to understand its future, critics warn, Dewsbury's story, where cultural shifts challenge cohesion, offers a compelling lens for crafting inclusive policies that honor diversity while fostering unity. Number 1. Tower Hamlets, London. At the top of the list is Tower Hamlets, the London borough many call Britain's first Sharia capital. With nearly 40% of its population Muslim, Tower Hamlets has been at the center of countless controversies. Extremist preachers once declared parts of the borough Sharia zones. Posters warned residents against alcohol, music, or Western clothing. The borough has been rocked by corruption scandals, extremist-linked charities, and bitter protests over Islamic schools. Sharia councils are active, and many residents say British law feels secondary in certain communities. Critics argue that Tower Hamlets represents the future Britain is sleepwalking into, a major borough of the capital city where British culture has been replaced. If the UK cannot stop Tower Hamlets from slipping away, what chance does it have to save the rest of the country? So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.